Hello and welcome to hopefully another edutaining episode of Create Simple Meals, where you know we only have those three rules. You must have passion, you must have patience, and you must be willing to practice. Today, I'm going to practice some, as me and my homeboy tag it, some fat man stuff. We're going to do a macaroni and cheese stuffed meatloaf. Got this idea, saw one of them YouTube, Facebook, somebody posted it up, and I was gonna do the version they did. And I was talking to the wife and was sitting there thinking about different ingredients, and then we came up with this idea to stuff it with macaroni and cheese. Now, the macaroni and cheese recipe, use whichever one you want, or you can go to createsimplemeals.com and look up our creamy macaroni and cheese and use that one. That's the one we're using here. For the meatloaf, real simple. We have some ground beef here. We have some Worcestershire, some salt, some pepper, a couple breadcrumbs, barbecue sauce. You can use any store-made barbecue sauce you want. And we got an egg. We're going to mix that all together for it to bind with these onions. And then we're going to layer it in a loaf pan that we're going to layer with bacon. So let's get to layering the pan first, because that might take a little bit of doing. Let's go ahead and cut this bacon open. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and just layer this on in here. You wanna make sure that it overlaps on both sides, because you're gonna need for it to come back over the top. And yes, this is definitely, as my wife would say, you don't need no two meats. This is definitely an indulgent meal. It's not something that I would recommend doing often, but we sure gonna do it today. Now, the thought just occurred to me, and if I ever do it, I'll show y'all once we bake this. You could actually turn this into sandwiches also. So that's an idea to keep in mind. Lay this one here, because we want enough with the cover over the top. And also get thick cut bacon, because this thing has to hold on. So you want to get some thick cut bacon. Pull that one out a little bit more. And one more on the edge there. All right. Now, if that's done, we can go ahead, push this off to the side. Go ahead and add in our ground beef. So 2 pounds of ground beef. We're going to add about a teaspoon of salt. Teaspoon of black pepper. I got a tablespoon here. I don't want to do no math in my head. 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. And we're gonna put an egg before we, wait, am I missing something? Oh, gotta put some breadcrumbs in here. Put a half of half a cup of breadcrumbs. And then before I put the egg in there, I'm gonna have to mix all this up some. And about a half a cup of barbecue sauce. Again, use your favorite one. This is Big Ruby's barbecue sauce, which will be coming to a store real soon. if I got anything to do with it. All right, you gotta get your hands in there. You gotta mix all this in together. Now, do not overwork your meat because it will get tough. You're gonna have to get in there, but you don't want to overwork the meat. But you definitely want to make sure it gets incorporated in there. All right, so once that get all mixed in as best you can, now we're going to take an egg here. We're going to beat it. Bring that back and we're going to mix that right on in there. And don't be afraid to go and get that intimate with your meat. All right, now that we have that all mixed together, we want to take this and you want to layer it inside. Wait a minute, I forgot something. Just that fast. No, I put the breadcrumbs in, didn't I? Yeah, I sure did. And I put the breadcrumbs in. Boy, I told you I was going to see some of everything. I thought I forgot the breadcrumbs. We're going to take this and we're going to just press that on in there. And I shape some up the side here. All right, now, wash my hands. Now that we got that all mixed together, take our macaroni and cheese. And we want to just layer that right in there. And we can use the rest of this macaroni and cheese for another meal. And you want to make sure it's evenly spread throughout there. Then cover it up with the remaining part of that ground beef or your meatloaf mixture. You want to cover as best you can, but it don't necessarily have to be perfect. Then we simply going to take these bacon ends, wrap them over. And we're going to take a little bit more barbecue sauce, and we're just going to brush that right on top of there. And we're going to take this in the house, and we're going to bake this at 350 for roughly 45 minutes to an hour, or until the internal temperature gets to 165 degrees. And once we're done with it, get this pan on all the way even. And while we're waiting for this to bake, we're going to put it in the house to let it bake. While we're waiting for that, please don't forget to follow us on YouTube, subscribe to that channel, hit that notification bell so you know that we're on. Please like and follow us on Facebook. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and tap into us on TikTok. For this show or other previous shows and recipes, visit createsimplemeals.com. Email me at askme@createsimplemeals.com. Hit that chat button when you're on that website. You can talk to me directly. In the meantime, folks, we're going to go ahead and bake this meatloaf and show you the final product. And while you're waiting there, remember, don't cook, create. See y'all real soon. All right, folks, so we are back. We let this cook. It was a little bit more than 45 minutes, closer to about an hour that we cooked this. And then we had to let it cool. I want to let it cool out so it dumps out real well. Ain't got to worry about it sticking to the pan, because that bacon grease is definitely going to help you out on there. So just to recap, we already had some macaroni and cheese made, and we made a meatloaf, stuffed it with the macaroni and cheese, and wrapped it in bacon. So the meatloaf is made up of ground beef, little salt, little pepper, some breadcrumbs, little Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of barbecue sauce, and that was it. Macaroni and cheese, use your favorite recipe, or go to createsimplemeals.com. Look up the creamy mac and cheese recipe that's on there and use that. Stuffed all that into a bacon-lined loaf pan, wrapped it all up together, brushed it with some barbecue sauce, and we baked that for about an hour or so at 350. So now it's started and flipped it over to cool. Let's go ahead, get y'all let me zoom on in there and just see the bacon and how it's been caramelized and how you got all your macaroni and cheese up in there. We're going to go ahead and get us a cut. I'm going to cut this in the middle just so we can, well, I'm going to try to cut this in the middle. Maybe I'm going to cut this from the end. There we go. And you can see all that macaroni and cheese that's in there. So let's go ahead and put this on our plate here. Again, this ain't the healthiest meal. As I told you, me and my buddy called this that fat man stuff. But let's go ahead and give it a taste. And we want to get some of all of it in there. Some of the bacon, some of the mac and cheese. Try that again. That's a winner chicken dinner right there, folks. Moist, tender all the way through. That bacon helps with that. Plus, remember, we put Worcestershire and barbecue sauces. That helps moisten it. But definitely moist and tender all the way through. Did not dry out, none whatsoever. Taste all the flavors, all the seasonings. Definitely something you could take this and put it on a brioche bread if you want to make it into a sandwich. But this is a meal within itself. You have your meat and you have your side. So don't have to worry about it. But to find the complete recipe, again, go to createsimplemeals.com and you will see the macaroni and cheese stuffed meatloaf. Until next time, folks, remember, if you can't cook, create. We'll see y'all back here on Create Simple Meals with hopefully another entertaining episode. See y'all again soon, folks.